Rise and fall, silver moon tide erase my footprints. Then I picked up broken scale, stuck them to my tail. If love truly makes you blind, then I guess there is no need to see. I'll trade my eyes so you can see for me. Lula, 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 stay with me, you will never be sad. I will embrace your bubbles, your fluids, and keep you warm. Then I will squeeze out your germs, your spore, your viruses. I will embrace your bones and keep you cool. Then I will squeeze out your evil, your grim, and your wool. Transform myself once and for all, sinking to the reborn, reform, twist my legs to one and mine to none. Tell me, what do you see in the mirror that's covered in choky steam? Touch me, kiss me to sleep. Cut me open and give me a soul and breathe.
Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome to December. The most wonderful time of the year is Sparxe' 2 key event presented by Joe. We are going to be rounding off these semifinals matches before we end off this weekend with, of course, that finals map we'll showcase. But for now, we have to round up this loser's bracket and, of course, that one winner's bracket match. I'm pretty sure this is also a winner's bracket match. Yeah, we have 2 winner's bracket matches, and then to round out that loser's bracket in an hour from now. But for now, we're going to be closing up the winner's bracket with Mini 23 versus KullaiPora. As always, my name is Sunny. Commentating along with me is going to be Teezel. Teezel, how's it going?
Hey, things are going great. Pretty excited to see this, and looks like our players are in the wrong slots. They're going to have to get swapped around before we start, but I'm sure a referee will be able to figure that out. Or maybe not, we'll wait and see. But yeah, this is Seed 7 versus Seed 3. Mini Egg managing to get into this position with a really great upset against Silicosis, or what was their other name again? Cub, that was it. Yeah, so yeah, maybe they'll get, matching up against another really strong opponent here, but the pool is even more difficult. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if Mini Egg will kind of continue to be able to keep up with this and get those points out against KullaiPora that they really need, or if the seedings will hold true and KullaiPora will be the one continuing on to the finals of winners bracket. But that's what this match is all about.
Yeah, for sure. And also lots are on the line as well this match, because not only whoever wins this match is advancing to the winners finals, but is also securing a spot on the podium as well. Either if they get 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, they have claimed a podium finish. And a very scary thing as well is that one of these players are dropping down into the losers brackets. And I mean, like you mentioned, Mini Egg pulling up an insane upset, like you mentioned, against Cub to get here, while KullaiPora, I believe, had to take out Dragon to reach the winner semifinals. And it looks like we got the bans out of the way. We're going to see Rice 2 and Rice 3 get the bans out, and interesting to see that both speed picks and the SV maps stay on board. And we're going right into one of the speed picks. Wow.
Yeah, very interesting to see speed coming out straight away, as KullaiPora is feeling confident they've been warming up for a while, and hoping that they're going to be able to catch out Mini Egg with this one.
Yeah, maybe just preying off of whether just if the skill cap is starting to hit Mini Egg. I know KullaiPora is a pretty physical player, but so is Mini Egg. I mean, him and Zubin kind of go well when it comes to especially during like when they're not playing matches and practicing off screen. They tend to just put the maps on double time and just roll with it.
Yeah, they've it seems to be the case where a lot of the players in this tournament have really taken on board to prove how quickly they can improve in this game. And yeah, it's just really intriguing because you never really saw that with as much with some of the previous 1-key tournaments. So having everyone go completely all out, I think quite a few people are kind of viewing this as this is a new game that no one has really kind of delved into properly before. I could be that person to become the best, and it's not often you get an opportunity like that. And I think with the players that we can have remaining in the tournament, that's probably the mindset they kind of have going into this. Is that, if any kind of mania tournament is going to give a really good opportunity to get that like 1st place, potentially a badge as well, having it be a mode where basically no one has ever played it before is one of the best places to try find that. So very contentious competition.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely have a lot on the line going into more of these underground tournaments that really kind of go into a different range of the skill set. There's not many 2-key tournaments I would reckon that exist. I think this is probably the first ever 2-key tournament that has happened. And right now, as we get into this match, it is 100% of a difference separating these two. This lead is in the double digits. It seems to flicker every 300 that these players drop. as both these players have been extremely consistent on the speed factor of this chart. These trills not picking any of them up. It is sheer consistency going into this back half.
It's just purely coming down to that ratio, and it's so close. KullaiPora picking up a couple of non-rainbows. mania also does the same. It's so close, but barely in favor of KullaiPora. But now the accuracies are actually even.
Oh,
I saw 200.
mania.
That could actually be over just through that single 200.
Especially when both of these players are so physically capable of just hitting probably like the hardest things or like the hardest patterns and the fastest patterns in this pool. It just comes down to whether who slips up first, who drops a 200 first, or who finds like a rush at 300s. Like I'm pretty sure these players are just treating this map like light work, and I think that 200 is really going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in the end. And looks like KullaiPora is going to capitalize off of that pick and going to take the first point of this match. Getting a 9-9-3 and losing is crazy, by the way.
Absolutely, especially at this stage in the tournament. But with the kind of map it is, in a way, I'm not like too surprised. It is mostly kind of back and forth drills. Just kind of, do you have the consistency to kind of not run out of stamina? But with the level that these players can play at, yeah, I had faith in them that they'd be able to do this. But even just looking at the ratios in general, even without these 200s here, KullaiPora does come out on top with quite a significantly big margin in the ratio there.
Yeah, only by, I believe, less than 50 300s, which isn't the worst in the world, especially that being on a speed pick. If we get into one of the more, get into some of the rice picks, those ratios will definitely be a lot closer than what we saw with that speed pick. But now it is mania turn to pick, and I think he'd probably want to stay in that range. I wouldn't be surprised if both speed picks get knocked out early.
Never mind, we're going to be going with LN2. But this is another fast song. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Is it 240, something like that?
Yeah, something along the lines of that. This is also the density LN.
224, never mind. Not as fast as I thought, but it's still pretty fast.
Yeah, you're pretty close on there. Also, mapped by Mysterion, I'm not mostly familiar with their mapping style, especially with having only 2 columns. You can only do so much with 2 columns and 2 notes. But I'd reckon probably just charted to the song. I mean, there are definitely lots of sections in this chart where it kind of just flips. I know the Love 4-key chart is definitely where, I'm pretty sure mapped by Leo, where many people are probably getting that sense of feel of this song, and that's where I'm kind of basing it off of as well. It's probably going to have that same flow of that map by Leo, where it's pretty much just charted to what you're hearing, and probably the most awkward way possible. And here we go.
The song does have kind of opportunity for kind of different layers of following, so we may kind of potentially see that kind of crossing over into each line.
Yeah, and right now some pretty awkward shields. Both players hitting those jacks and just heading into a pretty awkward timing and release section. KullaiPora in that 99.8 range drops a 200 though into that 99.7. Not the end of the world for them, as mania is behind by just a bit, but both of these plays are absolutely cruising through that beginning.
Once again, just so incredibly close. KullaiPora still keeping the lead with the accuracy, but mania is slowly building.
Ooh!
Yeah. mania unfortunately missing, and it definitely was not my fault.
Yeah, that was a very rough miss from mania. I think dropped all the way down to the 98 range, but they are coming up fairly fast. But I mean, you only have the final half of the map to go, and it's less than 2 minutes long, so you don't really have much room to come back from that, especially like dropping pretty much a full percentage down. I mean, it's definitely not the hardest thing in the world. It's only a 25,000 point difference, but KullaiPora has been so consistent throughout this entire chart. I mean, like, you're basically just relying off of them to do what you did. And I mean, there are still some parts of the map that I'm pretty sure the ending is definitely could be a section for failure. And KullaiPora starting to find some parts, but Miniegg finds a few drops there. But we still have this ending section. I don't know actually how this is charted, but I would reckon since it, we're gonna have to see.
KullaiPora is gonna have to kind of fall apart in this ending.
And not gonna fall for it, and gonna take the first break point of this match. 984k on the dot, and Miniegg
Beautiful full
beating
combo
KullaiPora in ratio
by 2 rainbows.
Yeah. I think, if it weren't for that absolute collapse around that third section of it, or about a third into the map, if Miniegg didn't find that collapse, would have been way closer. But KullaiPora gonna continue the trend with the long no picks, gonna opt for LN1. Gonna be actually custom song, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it is. Our wonderfully crafted one by Toromaru. An artist that has worked with loads of tournaments around, really notably in the World Cups as well. So really, really cool to get them in here, especially as they really like kind of using like pianos and kind of stuff like that in their instrumental pieces. And what is Mania? It's all about the piano. So really fitting to see it here.
Yeah, you may have recognized Toromaru's work from Enigma. That's a 4-key and 7-key love pick. And if you're a bit more of a recent player, you may recognize them from Deorbit, the custom, the Osu original from the Osu Mania World Cup 4-key 2023. So like you mentioned, they have done lots of compositions and lots of these big tournaments. So definitely not the newest artist to show up on the scene, but boy, they really did, I guess what you could say, cook with this song.
Yeah, things in general so far this match are looking really great for KullaiPora. Getting that really early breakpoint off of Miniegg is such a strong start. And going straight into this map, they're probably feeling pretty confident with this one as well. We are seeing that so far with the ratio once again in KullaiPora's favor.
Yeah,
an early break like that is going to be passing the lead over to Miniegg decisively for the first time this match.
But take a good look at those accuracies. It is in KullaiPora's favor, and once they reach that 400 combo cap, that lead will slowly but surely shrink and maybe even end up in their favor. But I mean, it is a pretty much 100, now 200 of a percentage of difference between these two players. So I think even when they cross that 400 combo cap, it's not really going to be doing much.
Yeah, it doesn't
swing
look
that
like
lead
it.
Over.
Still staying pretty consistently around 5,500 in favor of Miniegg. There is still just over half the map to go though.
Yeah, and there was a 200 I saw from Miniegg, but I'm pretty sure just as long as they can keep that accuracy pretty far from KullaiPora's range, or if KullaiPora just needs to normalize that accuracy, they need to either, they need to be above, I would say, 99.8 if they want to take this lead in their favor. But I did see
Miniegg does now have the accuracy lead.
Yeah, it seems like these players are trading accuracy lead back and forth. I mean, all these trills coming in, no one getting tripped up on that. Even some of these jacks, these shields, these players are being as consistent as consistency can get, and they are just cruising through this chart. Miniegg absolutely destroying that section. 99.69 for them, about to reach that 99.7 barrier, as KullaiPora, I believe, found a few 200s there. But as we reach the tail end of the map, it is still a relatively low lead with only 6,000 points. But if KullaiPora doesn't find any form of accuracy lead, it looks like it's going to go to Miniegg and back-to-back breakpoints.
Yeah, really, really devastating for KullaiPora, actually. Like, incredible play. I mean, just one single mistake. But that's all it took to lose that really, really crucial breakpoint. that they earned so early on this
we
match.
We were one slider break away from a tie. Oh my god! What the hell?
Yeah, if that was a rainbow, that would have literally just been a tie.
Jeez, man.
I don't think I've ever seen a tie in Mania before.
That
would have been my first. Like that was
witnessed. I have witnessed.
This is absolutely the closest I have ever seen a score. Like, just
I'm pretty sure
the score is obviously not super close, 5K, but just that one slider break is the only difference between the performance between those two players.
Yeah, that is
incredible.
Yeah, that is definitely sheer consistency from both sides of the spectrum. As we said, one bad judgment can screw one player, and it really showed best with KullaiPora there with that slider break. But oh my goodness, I think even if that judgment wasn't a slider break and was a 300, that would have been the slightest of lead in Mini Egg's favor. But jeez, man, that would, and also just talking about getting a slider break and also getting a 983K. That's a really solid score from KullaiPora, and Mini Egg as well. Just shy of that 990K with the FC as well. Very solid scores from both players. And it's, like I said at the beginning, one of these players are dropping into the losers bracket. Be scared.
Yeah, Mini Egg now has a really, really important decision to make here. Mini Egg hasn't recovered the break point. However, their first point did pass over to KullaiPora. They cannot afford to do that again. And they're going to have to really, really carefully consider what their next move is going to be.
Thinking maybe something in the Rice range. I think Passage D, Rice 4 would make sense. You want to, I know Mini Egg feels most comfortable with some of the more interesting Rice picks where it's kind of just free snapping and like pretty much like really just snapping points changing at a rapid pace and basically just tech picks. And I know Rice 4 has been the pattern of being the tech pick, and also I know the song as well very well, Passage D. I can imagine what Iron has done with this chart.
Oh, Iron has put some horrible bursts in there, and you know it.
Yeah, I have
the most disgusting patterns possible.
And maybe Mini Egg could potentially try press their luck on seeing if they could just absolutely tank through those sections, and we're just still waiting on a pick from Mini Egg. They're taking their time. Did the ref put in a timer?
No idea, but it does make sense that Mini Egg would kind of take their time here, because they do also have some new information now. 3 maps have been played, and can hopefully kind of take a look at the scores that were kind of done on that and kind of make a decision based off of those. And after some intense deliberation, Mini Egg is going to be picking Hybrid 1.
Ooh, I love this song. Good pick.
Song's,
you get my
pretty classic. Been around for quite a long time. Most veterans will know this one.
I'm pretty sure if I said where I found out where the song is from, I think I would get banned from the server and everything. I'm going to not say anything on where I found the song out from.
Only sub 10 million user ID users know this song.
Alright, I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. I found the song from Robeats.
Oh no! I mean, someone's put in the chat, it's my favorite Geometry Dash level. At least Robeats is a rhythm game. I'll at least give you that.
But anywho, getting in with Hybrid 1, and I mean, Niv charting this, you can already kind of see Niv pretty much takes the level of takes the level and cranks it up to 1,000 on some of these charts that they have created. They definitely are known for making really tough picks, and I would reckon, with their pattern of mapping hybrids, I know all the way back in round of 32 with Cerno's Perfect Math class, that was the hardest map of that pool, and it can really show here as well.
Yeah.
Those fast bursts.
Yeah, Niv really likes kind of throwing in those 1-6 bursts as well. But both our players holding on to them really strongly. Once again, slightly in favor accuracy-wise to KullaiPora.
Yes, slightly in KullaiPora's favor, just off of sheer accuracy. You maybe think it's probably a difference of 1-200 or maybe 2, and just the sheer ratio as well. Heading into the 1/3. Both players hitting that transition into the 1/3, so definitely pretty good sign. In with some flams and some trills. Both players, yeah, it's coming down to 200s, and it's 2,000 points of difference.
Oh,
there's a break!
And this does come out, and it's not the side we wanted to see on this pick. Mini Egg dropping the full combo on their own pick. Things looking really strong for KullaiPora to take yet another breakpoint and recover the initially lost one.
There is still map to go, but the question is, will KullaiPora find anything in trade from that miss from Mini Egg? And I mean, there is still time for Mini Egg to reach that 400 combo cap, but as the map closes in, just like as this map goes on, KullaiPora not looking for any sort of drops, and I think with this final part of the map coming in, yeah, it's pretty safe to say that KullaiPora is going to take this and have back-to-back breakpoints and 991k from KullaiPora. That is insane.
Yeah, doing a decent bit better on the ratio there. Just in general, very strong score from KullaiPora once again. Just unfortunate miss from Mini Egg, but I think even without it, it still probably would have just gone in favor of KullaiPora. So Mini Egg is managing to make really good picks and put out really strong scores, but with how intense this competition is, just not managing to make it out with these points. And KullaiPora is going to respond with Hybrid 2.
I'm starting to notice a trend that if they go for, like, say for example, they picked LN2, they picked LN1, pick Hybrid 1, pick Hybrid 2.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, perhaps KullaiPora is like, well, if they feel confident on this hybrid, and they lost it, surely the other hybrids will go in my favor too. And that's a pretty valid way to kind of go about this.
Yeah, that is definitely some good methodology is, I guess, the word. Some good theorizing, I guess you could say. But, I mean, as it stands, we have seen 3 breakpoints in a row. Is Mania going to continue that trend and make things 4 in a row? We'll find out with this pick. Radio Kids. It's not... I was going to make a Radiohead joke, but it's Radio Kids.
I don't think I've ever heard the song before.
Yeah, I don't think I've even heard of this artist before, but who knows? Expanding Sparxe' 2 key event, expanding your music taste.
Oh, those are some really tough doublets.
Yeah, already just hearing the sheer, just opening up with like some pretty interesting bursts. I mean, like we said, Niv definitely likes to crank things up to 1,000 on their charts, finding all sorts of very interesting patterns to display in with the chart. And I mean, this is definitely nothing short of that. Lots of very tricky bursts, even catching up KullaiPora with a 200. Now it's less than 1,000 points of difference, but there's a 200 from Mini Egg that trades back that 200 that KullaiPora has dropped, but we just opened up this chart.
Things are very close indeed.
And And oh my goodness. It's now roughly 0.2% separating these two. Not even less than that, actually. Some pretty fast jacks raining in, not going to catch up these players. As it's just off of Minieg finding excess 200s and even maybe just some extra 300s at this point. But there is still map to go. We still have this back half to go. KullaiPora definitely has room to drop some 200s, but Minieg finding another one. That'll just increase that lead for KullaiPora.
This is looking really good for KullaiPora overall. Managing to keep a consistent lead, looking really strong. The accuracy is really high. And looking to hopefully take the 4th point, but there is still a quarter of the map left to go. With the score difference between both these players, both on the full combo still. If KullaiPora managed to make a mistake, Minieg could take this back.
Yeah, it's just Minieg praying that KullaiPora finds some sort of mistake nearing this final part of the map. And I mean, there definitely is room for it. There are still lots of sections in this final part that maybe, you know, nerves can get the best of you and kind of just missing on air, or maybe a keyboard double input that could potentially happen, especially with these difficult chord or like these alternations from left to right with the chord or with the mini jack. KullaiPora finds a 200, but that's not going to be the end of the world, and they are going to confidently take this into their favor. It's going to make things 4-1, and oh my goodness, both players, Minieg almost getting a 990 on this pick. Both players FCing. Very solid scores on both sides of the spectrum. Those are some crazy scores.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible to watch. Just with how close these points are, genuinely so many factors could be kind of creating that difference in what the result of this match is. Who feels slightly warmer, who's more hydrated, just whose keyboard is in a slightly more comfortable position. It genuinely feels like that is the level of like those kind of things are having the influence on this match because of how close it is.
We're gonna see SV. I think this might be.
Okay.
Is this the first time we're seeing SV? No, this has been played before, but this is the first time I'm seeing SV being played. And very awesome song pick too, by the way. Niv is just expanding our music taste, kind of just picking songs that I've never heard before, but I do know Bill Wirtz, and I've never seen Bill Wirtz mapped SV wise, so I'm going in blind.
Me too. Looks like KullaiPora is also going in blind, as they're claiming to have not practiced the map at all.
And I mean,
Whether this could be a bit of an intimidation tactic. I'm not sure though, or leading Minieg into a false sense of security, rather.
I mean, a pattern that we have seen from Niv when it comes to them mapping SV, especially with last round's pick, me and my robot wife, they definitely like to play around with the velocities to make sure you've actually practiced the map. As you can see, definitely lots of fake outs already. And the big standout factor is just the slow jam transitioning into fast. Kind of just the stop and go section out of this opening that really kind of sets the ground of who practiced and who didn't. And I think KullaiPora is true to their words that they have not practiced. I mean, it doesn't seem like the hardest thing in the world. So KullaiPora doing a pretty solid sight read, I would say. 92 for them. But Minieg looks like they have definitely done their homework, holding up with a 98 FC still.
Yeah, it's just the cases when it comes to SV is you never get a player that's only practiced it like a couple of times. You either get people that don't touch it at all, or they just dedicate their entire week to it and kind of know the map inside out.
Or maybe you're just one of the players that like played the map a few times, you get the S rank and just call it a day. Said, that is enough practice. I know I've seen there are three types of SV players. One that dedicate the week to getting the best accuracy possible. One that plays until the S rank, and then one that just goes in blind.
Interesting that KullaiPora wouldn't choose to ban this map over whatever other map they did choose to ban. Like, surely they'd have a better chance of winning that one than with the score that they're managing to get on this sight reading the SV.
I believe, I mean, they did take out a Rice pick. Both players actually took out Rice picks. KullaiPora knocking out Rice 3 from the pool, while miniEgg took out Rice 2. So maybe it's gonna be a pure non-Rice matchup between these two. It seems like none of them are confident with the Rice pick. So just maybe KullaiPora just going for what they're not comfortable with, more or less, than just banning away the SV pick, or maybe they were relying off of miniEgg to actually knock out the SV pick. But miniEgg has been a prominent SV player throughout this tournament and other tournaments as well. And there's actually a break from miniEgg, a few of them, but I mean, it's not really going to do much as this lead has already grown by to almost 130,000 points.
I guess one other strategy that comes with when you don't practice the SV but choosing not to ban it is if you've left it open, you know, surely if you've not practiced the SV, you would ban it, right? So I guess it could kind of lead your opponent to kind of question, oh, maybe this could be risky. Maybe they have practiced it. Well, if they practiced it more than me. But that does not seem to be the case with this specific instance, as miniEgg takes a very strong lead, 902k against 766.
And if KullaiPora was going on a sight read, that is a insane sight read score, a 93. Normally when I see sight reads, it's like B ranks and C ranks, but KullaiPora actually managing to pull out a really good accuracy for a sight read if they were actually going in on one. I mean, saying they haven't practiced, that is a very solid practice score, I must say.
Absolutely.
And looks like the breakpoint curse has ended, and it is KullaiPora's turn to pick a map. And I mean, seeing the pattern, they have been avoiding the Rice, so I wouldn't be surprised if they avoid the Rice again. But you only have 3 non-Rice picks left. You have LN3, Hybrid 3, and that second speed pick, which kind of acts as a Rice pick. But they are going to go for LN3. So knocking out all the LN maps for in this match. They have all been exhausted. It's going to be New Dawn Scene Mix.
If KullaiPora wins their own pick here, that's going to put them into a match point situation, which is going to make this whole match a lot more difficult for miniEgg. And apparently this is just a Rice map.
So this is the secret Rice 5 of the map pool.
It's always got to
like
be hiding somewhere.
Yeah, last week it was Hybrid 3. There's always just a secret Rice 5 hidden in this pool. But I've actually have not seen the map, so they could be lying. We're gonna have to see. And opening up with this chart so far, both players pretty much been the same pattern throughout this throughout most of these maps. Insanely close between these two. And as of now, miniEgg actually has the lead for not the biggest lead in the world, but KullaiPora finds a break. That is really gonna now give a comfortable lead to miniEgg.
That's something we've not really seen so far this match, is KullaiPora being the one struggling a bit more, picking up the misses. When it comes to these long jack maps, miniEgg has been one of the players that seems to be performing a lot better on them, but that is a really significant drop there. Picking up loads of 100s I saw there along with some misses. still
Yeah,
has the
that-
lead, but is shrinking slightly.
Yeah, they still have the lead, but like you said, it is starting to shrink as KullaiPora is starting to climb up that accuracy, but there's a break from them as they were about to reach that 400 combo cap as well. So now Minieg has all the map in the world to reach that 400 combo cap. KullaiPora just finding lots of misses on these sections, while Minieg having a bit of issues with those long jacks, but keeping that combo up, and here comes the 1/3 timings. Minieg, oh, missing as soon as they hit that 400 combo cap, but same with KullaiPora. I'm pretty sure they missed at the exact same note.
Yeah, their combo does seem to be exactly the same.
And I just realized there was a bit of a polyrhythmic section right there, but both these players actually hitting that section, so...
After the map left to go, 41,000 in favor of Minieg. This is KullaiPora's pick. This is the one that they need to be winning to get to match point. And it's going to be really tough to come back from this one.
Yeah, Minieg ahead by a whole percentage, as this is the biggest lead that Minieg has had outside of that SV pick, and they're basically in the driver's seat now. And as long as they can keep this up, I mean, there's not much map left to go. There's only this last section of map, and if Minieg just stays strong, they can easily pull off another breakpoint. And as it stands, I mean, there's really not much map to go, and Minieg and KullaiPora both seem very comfortable with these LNs, with those long jacks as well, and it's gonna go into the ending of the map, and Minieg is pulling off another breakpoint, and it's gonna stay alive. Oh my goodness.
Securing that all-crucial breakpoint back to their favor. We go back over to Minieg's pick, looking to tie this up 4-4. But there's not many maps left in the pool, and especially when both players are avoiding Rice, the only options are Hybrid and Speed.
Yeah, you're really running out of picks here. You might have to dive into those Rice picks, as you only have 2 non-Rice picks left. You have that remaining Hybrid, which I'm pretty sure is Hybrid 3, and Speed 2. So, I mean, either way, these players are going to have to jump into a Rice pick. If Minieg takes this next point, they are going to have to dive into... No, I'm pretty sure by default they have to pretty much pick a Rice map, unless KullaiPora wins these next 2 charts. But we're going to have to see. If I were Minieg, probably Hybrid 3 would be the pick. Unless
I feel
they
like KullaiPora would be really, really good at that Hybrid 3, though.
So it's either you risk it and go for speed. I mean, Minieg has been a strong speed player throughout this tournament. They quite literally have played some of the maps on double time. They kind of have the Zubin effect going on.
Yeah, I guess that fear just kind of comes from KullaiPora winning out in the first speed pick at the very beginning of the map.
Yeah, KullaiPora is also very strong in that Rice component as well, and physicality as well, and pretty much speed is also basically just Rice, but just faster. So in reality, you only really have 1 non-Rice pick left. So, and that's just Hybrid 3.
Yeah.
And Minieg really strategizing here, and I definitely do not blame them. This is we're getting into the late game section of the match where things really matter most.
Yeah, I think the big issue here when it comes to Rice for Minieg is I feel like generally throughout this match, KullaiPora has had that slightly stronger ratio over Minieg. And when it comes down to those sorts of maps, like ratio is basically everything. Particularly for like your Rice one, that's basically just a ratio battle. That's probably a KullaiPora win. We were thinking perhaps a Rice 4 could be something that favors Minieg, but we've also seen KullaiPora do really, really well in stuff that is a bit more technical.
Ooh.
But interestingly, as I say that, Minieg is gonna go for Rice 1. What I just said, I think, is probably slightly more favored towards KullaiPora, being significantly more kind of advantageous, having the better ratio in general.
I mean, we did see on the speed pick, which was, I believe, the first pick of this match. You were right. KullaiPora had the favorable ratio, and I'm pretty sure throughout most of this match, whenever it came down, I mean, we've only seen one rice-based pick, and that was the speed pick. And KullaiPora had the favorable ratio on that chart, so your point can really stand with KullaiPora having just the better ratio rice-wise. I think how you're gonna have to win this is just if you get the V1 double S. Honestly, that's the only way I can see it. If KullaiPora finds 200 and Minieg keeps that ratio in distance of maybe less than maybe like 20 and can hold that V1 double S, Minieg can probably actually capitalize off of this and take a point and tie things up.
Some observations from our viewers are saying that the end of this map has some really fast jacks, and we have seen KullaiPora struggle on those, so that could be, and Minieg excelling on them, so that could be kind of Minieg's reasoning for this pick here. However, it is going to require some really strong ratio game from Minieg up until that point, because we know that KullaiPora is going to be delivering on that front.
For sure, and as it stands, it's pretty much the same pattern as we've been seeing throughout this entire match. KullaiPora has having that accuracy lead by just the slightest of margins, but like you mentioned, there that final part of the match is where everything kind of just hits the fan, and where things can definitely really be the deciding factor. But it's mainly just gonna be kind of like most rice picks we've seen.
Minieg actually catching up and overtaking KullaiPora on the ratio. It was in favor of KullaiPora for up until this point, but now they're tied. It's literally low triple digit in favor of Minieg here. Neither player can afford to make a single mistake.
Yeah, and as we dangerously near that ending section, where apparently has a part where KullaiPora is prone to messing up on.
They're literally tied.
We are literally tied, as there's only a quarter of the map left to go.
21.
200 points in Minieg's favor, and as we get into the final quarter, it is, I think that was a 200 from KullaiPora.
There's still a bit of map left to go though. I don't like watching that squirrely jump over back and forth. Accuracy is still in favor of Minieg. A miss from KullaiPora.
There it is. That's what we have been anticipating this entire match, and that pretty much settles it. There's another one from KullaiPora, and on that ending section, Minieg is gonna run away with this lead. Only 200.
The ratio actually coming out in favor of Minieg, and I think that's the first time we've seen that this match. Or it's been roughly tied. That is crazy.
And we are now tied at 4.
Best of 3.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, like you mentioned, even if it weren't for that final break set, or that final break from KullaiPora, that would have been in Minieg's favor just by sheer ratio alone. But here we go with Hybrid 3. This is kind of KullaiPora's last resort. This is their last pick of this match, and they're gonna see if Hybrid 3 will be the deciding factor on who gets the match point here.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Hybrid 3 was going to be the pick that KullaiPora was going to be making. It's all these kind of maps that are much more LN kind of heavy, definitely leaning more towards KullaiPora's favor, but still doesn't count Minieg out of it. It still feels like such a toss-up here. I don't know. I don't know what way this is going to go. Also, for the people in the chat saying, where are the other 2 Minieg's? It's kind of making me kind of realize people outside the UK probably just don't know what mini eggs are, and they're like an actual thing, and 23 mini eggs existing is like totally normal and acceptable if you buy a bag of them.
I know
they're not
about.
tiny eggs, but they're like, it's like a mini chocolate egg that's covered in like a sweet kind of candy shell, and they're really common at Easter time. Yeah. So it's not like a mini egg, it's a mini egg. Yeah, the mini egg chocolates. Okay, so it's not just the UK that has them. I thought we were the only place to have them, but I guess not.
Canada has them. Yeah, it's under Cadbury though, so
Yeah.
I don't know if yours is the same over there, but
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Because Cadbury chocolate is kind of like the most common here. Yeah, it's Cadbury. Yeah, we have them all the time at Easter, so... You buy a bag of them, there's probably more than 23 in there.
yeah, I would probably say like probably double that.
Oh, I don't know about that. The economies of shrinkflation have been hitting us pretty hard the past few years.
so it actually might be 23.
Potentially. Guess we'll test out this coming spring. But until then,
upcoming spring, we will do the mini egg challenge. See how many mini eggs are in a bag. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so far, early on, yeah, as we thought, the ratio is in.
Whoa,
what is going on?
on?
I was gonna say ratio in favor of KullaiPora. We get a double miss, but it favors mini egg, much cleaner, and taking the lead.
Yeah, KullaiPora finding an. Oh, and there's another break from them.
Got these shorter length jacks back and forth between the lanes. KullaiPora finds another miss on them.
Yeah, and as now these combos are starting to are starting to be more.
Once again, a clean miss for mini egg, but it's still a miss. It's gonna chunk the score down.
A fairly clean miss from mini egg, yeah, like you said, but KullaiPora has crossed that 400 combo cap, so that lead will shrink, but mini egg has the accuracy lead, so that should balance things out.
Yeah, it's just that score lead is just a bit tighter than it was before. It does seem to be going slightly towards the favor of KullaiPora as they build up their accuracy further and further.
Oh my goodness, and yeah, as we head into the final quarter of the map, KullaiPora is catching up, but the question is there enough time? It is definitely within striking distance, but that accuracy needs to be climbed up, and I mean, there is still map, but there's a break from KullaiPora, and I think that is the final nail in the coffin. There is relatively no map left to go, and mini egg is not looking for any misses, and mini egg is going to take a break point and a match point situation for them. This is a really good spot for mini egg.
Yeah, because mini egg is going to be making the final pick of this match as well. They have the option of Rice 4 or Speed 2. And it's, you know, even though it's only a 50-50 between the two, it's always nice to be the one in the driving seat for that. KullaiPora, really unfortunate. That was their pick. That was the pick they had to get that match point on. And just unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. Mini egg winning the past 3 maps in a row.
What a comeback from mini egg. I believe mini egg was down 4-1 at some point and winning 4 unanswered points in a row, potentially able to close things out here.
Oh yeah, it's 4 maps in a row, not 3. What am I thinking?
It's only that Speed 2 and Rice 4.
Where will mini egg choose to go? At the beginning, we were thinking Rice 4. We said this close to the beginning, Rice 4 might be more in favor of mini egg just due to kind of the slightly strange rhythms, different snappings that go on in that kind of song. Very much supporting a crazy map, mapped by Iron nonetheless.
I'm gonna be brutally honest, I want to see Hall get played. I want to see how Hall will be mapped in a 2-key format, and we're gonna see Passage D get the pick Rice 4. And here we go, last pick of the match. It's all coming down to this. And here we go.
Yeah, just this match in general could not be closer. This is insane. Just any day, just a different hour this match could have started. The outcome could have been totally different.
Yeah,
But this is
Mania.
KullaiPora's last chance to be able to get that one final point they need to reach that that match point, force that tiebreaker, and play the most difficult map in the pool, and to date for 2Key.
And I mean, this has been a miracle run for Minieg. Like I mentioned, they were down 4-1 at some point in this tournament, and then they pulled off 4 unanswered points, and now they are on pace to pull off another upset. And oh my goodness, this has been a match and a half. I literally am speechless of this. But KullaiPora needs to stay focused. They need to pretty much lock in, honestly, on this final pick. And like you mentioned, lots of weird snappings and just the sheer rhythm of this chart. Very interesting to say the least. And this is probably the most important pick of KullaiPora's, or the most important map of KullaiPora's tournament run right here.
Even though we only have one map and then a potential tiebreaker, this match is so far from over. Every single one of these notes is so crucial to the outcome of this. KullaiPora is going to be the player taking the really early lead here.
Yeah, that has been the ongoing pattern throughout this chart, or throughout this match. Either one player taking a very early lead, but only by the slightest of margins. And as we continue forward, there's a break from Minieg, and that was a pretty nasty one too. And it looks like KullaiPora is not going to trade it back in. And oh my goodness, well, we are already a third of the way in this map, and KullaiPora at the 99.9 range.
Yeah, Minieg not too far behind, ready to try and take the lead back in their favor if KullaiPora makes a decent mistake. But 13,000 points is going to be pretty difficult to come back from. Even if KullaiPora does make a mistake, you know, it's going to have to be a pretty messy one.
And Minieg finds a 100 as well, which is not going to be the end of all things, but I mean, already that break already did quite a lot. But they are recovering very well accuracy-wise. It's just if KullaiPora wants to break, and there are some tricky Rice sections in this map, but I mean, KullaiPora has been steady with this lead. They did drop a bit of accuracy, but that's only what, about a 1/10 of a percentage dropped? That's pretty much gonna be nothing, and they have a 15,000 point lead over Minieg. But there's a break! There's a few breaks actually. Hold on a second. Minieg is slowly but surely pulling this back, but there needs to be more breaks from KullaiPora.
I don't think there's enough time.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time.
But KullaiPora still having that accuracy advantage.
5,472
5,472 points. Tiebreaker is here.
And what a time to get that tiebreaker in. This is the most important map now for both of these players, because one of these players are going to be securing a podium placement, and another player, their tournament run is not over. They will be sent to the losers bracket, but oh my goodness.
Seed 7 coming from a really significant upset against Seed 2 versus a really strong run from Seed 3 so far, meeting together in the semi-finals winners for a tiebreaker on Hall by Frums.
Yeah, Hall by Frums. I mean, what else is there really to say about this pick? I mean, pretty much, Hall definitely has some interesting patterns, I would say, just like in like the 4-key chart that was used in unironically the semifinals of MWC 2023, and
both players just kind of getting their nerves together, I think, and really just getting ready to lock in for one final push.
Yeah, this is the final map. This is the map that'll settle everything on who will be placing in the podium and who will be sent down to that loser's bracket. It's all gonna come down to this final map, and like you said, these players need to calm their nerves, need to get things ready, as oh my goodness, this is pretty much 6 minutes of pure, just pure frums. I would just say, honestly, frums at this point is their own pattern.
This is, this is the kind of stuff you can obviously write, but actually having it legitimately play out is incredible.
And
it's just
here we go.
How evenly matched these players are just absolutely insane. But one does have to emerge victorious.
The opening melodies.
Here
we go with Hall. And honestly, I mean, as we've seen, these players have been so balanced out pattern-wise. And there's an early break in KullaiPora, but I mean, with that 6 minute time on the clock, you can really just find all your breaks in the opening section, and it really won't matter just as long as you pretty much just keep things pretty much calm and control later on in the chart. And KullaiPora found some really nasty breaks, but just as long as they don't find any more,
it is looking like a really rough start for KullaiPora, but as you say, hopefully getting those early breaks out the way can kind of help settle the nerves. If you kind of ended up in a situation where you're like, oh, I've lost, there's no way now, it kind of helps drain that out and help you focus up way more later on, whereas if mania still holds on to that full combo, those nerves are going to be getting more and more intense as the map goes on, and also gets more and more intense. And it's definitely a recipe for disaster if they're not able to hold it together.
But as it stands, KullaiPora is holding things together. They have crossed that 400 combo cap, and mania is actually starting to drop their accuracy now.
Yeah, the score lead is shrinking, and it's shrinking pretty quickly as well. That accuracy difference is a lot more negligible now. As KullaiPora runs up really quickly towards 99.
Yeah, and KullaiPora has done a steady recovery from that beginning, and as they continue on, they're starting to actually climb up now in the 99s, and mania finds a break! This is the prime opportunity for KullaiPora to start chipping away that lead, as they have the accuracy lead, but it's only by just a slight percentage. It's only by just about a couple hundreds, and there was a rush up 200s found at that Trill. But KullaiPora has the combo lead, so that will regulate things, but Minieg still ahead by just roughly 5,000 points.
Yeah, this part of the chart, it looks like pure consistency, and these players are absolutely demolishing it, building up their accuracies, and just staying neck and neck with each other.
And as these players are heading into a pretty rough LM section, minieg finding some breaks that might have done it. Hold on a second. That could have. It's starting to shrink. There's another one. That lead is starting to go in favor of KullaiPora. Hold on a second. It's gonna flicker over any time now. And
the score bar is turning blue.
Oh my
goodness! It's red again. Oh.
It's in the double digits. It's going back and forth. But minieg finds a break, and KullaiPora is not looking to trade it back. Oh my goodness! This is the closest we've seen these players, and we are heading into the break section out of all sections.
2,400 points in favor of KullaiPora. It'll grow slightly as the combo is a bit higher. The accuracy also just slightly in favor of KullaiPora as well. We've seen higher leads in favor so far this map, and there's still half of it left to go. So this lead for KullaiPora is not the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, there is still this back half to go, and minieg finding out.
Bancho miss. That's fine.
Yeah, Bancho Kind of toying with your
But that
message.
wasn't-
KullaiPora finds a break. That was a actual miss from KullaiPora on those nasty jacks that lead. Now in the 1,000 range, starting to shrink in. Now, is that enough to swing the lead over? It's not enough, as that accuracy is keeping KullaiPora in check. But that lead, oh my, 34!
What is this match?
Oh my goodness. Now these players are virtually tied. Miniegg has had the lead, but now it's going to go back in KullaiPora's favor, and there's a break.
Or miss.
Miniegg, it's still roughly by 2,000 points and starting to shrink in a little bit, but Miniegg hasn't found the trade back.
Oh.
But there it is!
There it is. Oh my goodness. What is this?
And this is the section where it matters the most. As the tempo slows down, we are heading into the section that pretty much will determine who will win this match.
It is in favor of
As
KullaiPora, not only with 2,000 points, but that accuracy difference is 0.2%. Pretty significant at this stage.
As here we go, final. That is the only break you'll be getting right there, as we are gonna head into the final section of this map. Both of these players have been insanely dominant, and here we go, final section of the map. It has started, and it is not going to end until the map ends. And here we go.
Yeah,
There's
picking
a
up the
break.
first miss.
Finds a
Many
break, and
picking
there's
up more.
another one.
Oh,
coming in.
no, no, no.
Oh my goodness! This is not
this
what
is-
you got off the side of Miniegg. And
KullaiPora
40,000
absolutely
points.
demolishing the sectional, still holding into that combo well over 1,000 now. That accuracy is so consistent.
But oh, KullaiPora finds a pretty bad coordination right there, but that was way cleaner than when Miniegg
Another
got
miss.
the break. There's more.
Miniegg trades it though,
Miniegg
another
trades
miss from
They're
KullaiPora,
missing back and
10,000.
forth. As oh my goodness, both
Coming
these players
right
nailed
down
these
to the
challenges.
wire.
But
Oh, look at that score difference.
Go
on.
KullaiPora, and it's swing back in Miniegg.
Come on, Miniegg, yes!
Miniegg, you gotta take it.
No, no, no.
Oh my
Oh my god.
What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened?
What have we just witnessed?
Oh my god!
I have to say,
Man.
based on just something that was said in the chat, I watched the match for the World Cup today between Australia and Germany, and people were spamming cinema, absolute cinema, to a match that ended at like
Oh my
7-2 or
gosh.
something like that. They have clearly not seen anything close to this before. This was probably one of the most intense, close matches I have ever witnessed in my career as a caster. And I've been doing this since 2019.
I've been doing this ever since 2022. Oh my god. Miniegg has just punched their ticket into the winners finals, and they are a podium placer as well. They have officially made their place in the podium. They are in the top 3, but it is not the end of the line for KullaiPora, as they will be dropping down into that losers bracket to verse Zubin next week in the losers finals. Oh my goodness.
That is such a devastating loss for KullaiPora. So close. Had that lead right at the end, comfortable 12k, but unfortunately just lost it in the last couple of seconds. But that just goes to show how evenly matched these players are. I think if you just got the players to do this match, kind of the best of 11, whatever it was, and just made them play the tiebreaker for every single map, we probably would have seen a pretty similar result. Get them to play X amount of times and we'd probably see it be even and end up in a tiebreaker once again.
Oh my,
Just
that was
Every single map
insane match.
almost could have gone either way. That was absolutely incredible. So, for our next match that is starting 3 minutes ago between Dragon and Cub in the losers bracket, they're going to have a tough time matching up to what we have just seen.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, this, I don't think we're ever going to see a match like that ever again. I don't think we're ever going to see what happened there. And we are going to cruise along with the last match of this block. It's going to be Dragon versus Cub this is, I believe, a loser's bracket match, so the loser does go home, and Dragon taking the celebration of their first 50 roll in months, and Kull gonna win the roll either way, and they will be taking that first pick, but it is now Dragon's turn to ban, and they are gonna knock out LN2.
All right.
Honestly, I'm honestly not surprised by that pick.
Yeah, very very fast pick. So, yeah, it's kind of in the middle. All right, I have a co-caster joining me. My cat, because he won't shut up. So maybe he can offer
Honestly,
some great insight here.
can your cat just replace me? I don't want to ref and commentate at the same time.
I don't think he's quite skilled enough at that. I've not trained him up enough, so.
Alright, well, this will be Teezel's cat arc of commentating.
He might be a bit shy, but we'll see.
Don't worry, that's how most commentators start off when they do their first match. I still recall my first match. I was a bit camera shy. But anywho, we are getting underway with this match, and we are heading into LN1. What a way to start off than a custom song. Yeah, I guess you could say
Giving the love to Toromaru.
Yeah, we are really showing our gratitude to Toromaru for making absolute bangers. And here we go, underway with Synapse, LN1. This will be Cub's pick, and Cub has had a reputation of staying in that LN range. They have been a very prominent LN player, but so has Dragon, so it can really go either way. And we're gonna have to see here.
Yeah, it's like both of these players have been pretty dominant so far. Both ending up into losers bracket with just really tough matchups.
Yeah, and as you say that, I believe, if I'm correct, Cub actually got knocked into the losers bracket by Mini Egg.
Yes, that's correct.
So, kind of a bit ironic that we play a match from Mini Egg and then head into a match where we see a player that got eliminated by Mini Egg in the winners bracket. But anywho, Dragon having a bit of a lead over Cub in this first third of the map. It's not by the biggest of margins. That is in the triple digits, as there is still plenty of map to go. We haven't even reached the halfway mark yet. But as things are starting to regulate a bit, that lead is going to increase on the side of Dragon just by a slight bit.
I mean, if we want to add to it, you'll never guess who knocked Dragon down into the losers bracket.
Let me guess, KullaiPora?
That's right. And one
So
thing I can note here is that Mini Egg swept Cub. However, Dragon went to tiebreaker against KullaiPora. So if we're going kind of purely based off of that, I would say in general this match is probably favored towards Dragon, but it is a different map pool, so you never really know. And with just how close this is so far, 2 full combos, over 2,000 combo now, really coming down to ratio. And
Yeah, it's
a
going to
bit
come
of
down
accuracy
to
here and there.
sheer ratio.
Alright, coming out to the final section of the song. Only 1,000 and a couple hundred points in favor of Dragon still. Is this it? No more surprise notes. And 1,279. Initial breakpoint for Dragon. Getting that slightly better ratio and 2 less 200s. It's gonna seal the win there. But not too much to worry here for Cub. This is a pretty long match, plenty of opportunities to take that point back, and that starts now with Dragon's next pick, which is LN3. I did say Seal. Unintentionally as well. I've not been going out of my way to make Seal puns, but they just happen sometimes. I wonder, do you have anything to say about this match so far, my wonderful, annoying cat? What do you think? Do you have any wise words? No, are you... Okay, he's just gotten a bit shy. He was mewing non-stop. I've moved him up to the mic. Stop. Alright, here we go. So this is LN3, the map that is not the most heavy on LNs. We have a lot of jacks on this one, if I remember correctly. I might be mixing up with another map. Early miss for Cub. But if you are going to miss anywhere in the map, right at the beginning is probably the best place to do it. Oh, and another miss though is going to be really advantageous for Dragon here. But I think later on in the map is really where it's going to be mattering. Here they are, the jack patterns. Dragon holding on so well. So many rainbows coming. I'm seeing 200s, 100s, and oh, a huge chain of misses from Cub. This is not looking great at all. So it does look like this is probably not the map that Cub is going to be getting their breakpoint back on. That is alright, it is Dragon's first pick, probably the one that they're going to be the most comfortable with. So seeing a really strong score coming from them is, you know, kind of expected. Right, halfway through the map, 75,000 in favor of Dragon. Does pick up some misses, but recovers very nicely. Another miss from Cub, but Dragon does trade that one. Oh, Cub really struggling with these patterns once again. That score lead has grown ever more to 135,000. Dragon's still on 99.3. Bit of a slow section. Get the stamina back up for the ending. Alright, now we have the ending. I don't think it's possible for Cub to come back from this one. It is 150,000 in favour of Dragon, with not too much of the map left to go. So I think the only way this could kind of switch over is if Dragon DCs, but surely that wouldn't happen at the end of the map, right? Surely not. And there we go. 969 versus 813. Really, really nice zero miss from Dragon. Just an unfortunate slider break. But there we go. Dragon's first pick. Really strong showing. And we're back to Cub for their pick. And Cub gonna go for Speed 2. The one map that was open but wasn't picked in the previous match. This is a very, very fast map, and actually mapped by my mind. A high-level Taiko player, so it'll be interesting seeing what this looks like.
Also, apologies for what happened. My Wi-Fi quite literally just died on me. hopefully it's back. But it looks like
Happens
I
to the
missed
best
out.
of us.
Looks like I missed out on a break point that happened. So shout out to our streamer for taking over as a ref for a bit, but we are back. As it stands, Cup taking an early break off of this speed pick. Dragon gonna take an early lead by roughly 6,000 points. But we just started off with this map. It's not the longest map in the world, only 2 minutes long.
Yeah, still in favor of Dragon. Some of these bursts look really, really tough. But both players managing to hold on through them.
Yeah, both players doing all right, even with Cub finding that break. They are recovering quite nicely. They're about to reach that 99 caliber, but there comes a burst in Trills that will put a bit of a dent in both players' scores, but nothing too much, as it is still about roughly about a 0.7% of difference, I'd say. Now 6.
But the slowdown section with some LNs. Nothing too crazy. 14k in favor of Dragon. But definitely opportunity for Cub to come back from this one.
There is still room for comeback, and as more of these Trills and Mini Jacks come flying in now, both players not seeming to find any trip-ups with this section. They have things under control. And as long as Cub can sort of bring things back, I mean, they're going to have to see a huge drop from Dragon at this point if they want to bring things back, as Dragon is at a 99.4 and on an FC. As these Trills are coming in, Cub actually going to find a break on that, and that's just going to increase that lead that Dragon has already built up. And there's only this final section left to go. And
Dragon be on track to be getting a second break point. Yeah,
and they are.
Really good score. 980k, full combo.
Yeah, 980k FC by Dragon. That is insane.
Yeah, just two unfortunate misses from Cub there. Slightly lower accuracy, but definitely could have been. It would have been a very, very close map without those misses.
And it's gonna be Rice 1, the pick for Dragon. Gonna fire. Try to see if you're gonna fire back with a Rice pick. Trying to capitalize off of that break point that they did take. And here we go. I mean, they have been more physically capable, as it seems, than what Cub has been doing on that speed pick. So definitely makes sense to go for it. But who knows? We're gonna have to see. We could see back-to-back breakpoints, but only time will tell as we're gonna get underway with Rice 1.
Here we go. Map that is definitely a bit more simplistic in kind of technical difficulty, so it's a lot more kind of about the accuracy and consistency.
Here we go. Underway with our first Rice pick. And right now, Dragon on the V2 double S. Please stop. Thank you. As we just had to confirm if Dragon was not a robot, and they completed the captcha, and yeah, and I mean, like we saw with Rice 1 last match, it's pretty much just all fine and dandy until it reaches that ending, and it's gonna basically just come down to that ending on who slips up on it. And here we go, with a bit of a more trickier section.
Yeah, so... Oh, okay, Cub gonna be the first player to find a miss. Very clean, though. But, you know, will Dragon be making any mistakes is the question.
Yeah, and we only have this back half to go, and also that ending where lots of players have caught up, or oh, whoa!
Oh no! Oh, it's tripping up both
Wow.
players, but Cub way more than Dragon.
Cub basically took their hands off the keyboard there for a second. Hopefully that's not a hardware issue, because it quite literally looks like they tabbed out or something. As, oh man, they're down in that low 96 range, and I think even if this ending does get the best of Dragon, I don't think it's gonna do much. Score-wise, they already have a 20, almost 100,000 point lead now.
Yeah, the final kind of Jack section. Yeah, Dragon holding on very strong once again. Cub, on the other hand, does find some more misses on it.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter at all. Here comes the ending section where players mostly mess up on, and even if any of these players mess up on it, it's not gonna matter. Dragon is still gonna take this, and they are now up 4-0.
This isn't looking too great for Cub, unfortunately, but
And
they're really going to have
Cub-
to make sure they don't lose another breakpoint here, because that would put Dragon into match point.
Yeah, and Cub's gonna fire. Oh my god. Cub, your sight reading. Oh my goodness.
That is an interesting choice.
I'd do it for the sake of for the funnies, I guess, is basically what Cub is saying.
True. I mean, we are here fighting for glory and bragging rights and badges, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's still a video game, and we're here for fun.
And here we go with the SV pick, and right now, Dragon gonna have a bit of a lead, and ooh, Cub finding a really nasty break, and I'm pretty sure they are sticking true to their words that they are sight reading this map. Oh, but Dragon finds a miss, but not as much as what Cub has found in this early beginning, and they have already built up a near 30,000 point lead, 23,000, and climbing in their favor.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it's completely over, but it does look like Dragon has probably practiced this, SV map, still holding on to that full combo and keeping the accuracy pretty decent as well.
Quarter of the map in, Dragon has a 50,000 point lead now, as I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that Dragon has comfortably taken this, but I mean, there is still a map to go, so I mean, it's not the complete end, but it's a 6% difference, and Dragon has no signs of stopping unless a disconnect happens or something.
Yeah, another miss from Cub. It does look like this could be another breakpoint in favor of Dragon, but there is still just over half of the map left to go. You never know what will happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, as we definitely say from that last match we just saw. Anything could happen.
Will Dragon be able to hold on to the full combo for the entire map, though?
Are they on an FC run? I thought they missed earlier.
Or maybe they did. I didn't think they had.
I believe I saw a miss earlier on throughout the chart, but
Oh well,
who knows?
I'm just making stuff up, being a bit silly,
I mean-
spreading misinformation.
me when I spread misinformation on the internet.
Intentionally.
But as it stands, Dragon has been really strong, and so has Cub, and with the combo, even though Cub is on a sight read, that is a very... Cub has been very strong.
Another unfortunate miss with these slow down kind of fake outs.
Yeah, I'm... Oh, Cub messing up on that slowdown section. But as it stands, I mean, already a pretty big pretty big point lead already, so it's not really gonna matter. And as we get into the closing section of the map, Dragon gonna take this breakpoint and a match point situation as well. Wow, this is the second seed on the brink of elimination. Yeah, I believe it's at the very beginning of the map. I did notice
initially getting knocked down by seed 7, and now kind of in a really bad situation against seed 6. That is a common thing to see in these low-key tournaments, is the seedings kind of going a bit crazy as we get towards the end.
And going with the Robeats map, Hybrid 1.
Oh yeah.
Going to try to close things out with the Hybrid pick. And I mean, we have seen some very wacky things happen in this tournament. It's definitely not impossible for a reverse sweep to occur, but it's gonna take one hell of an effort from Cub. But it can start right here.
Dragon does take an early lead. We've definitely seen those be lost before.
For sure. Some of these trills come in before the drop, where all the very tricky flams come as well with these LNs, and Dragon still with a pretty comfortable lead, but only by 1,000 points, and that's starting to flicker back in Cub's favor.
But yeah, triple digits, so close. I did see a 200 from Cub though, but Dragon gets one themselves. The accuracy is almost tied, as Cub does pick up some lower down scoring hits. Dragon with the miss though!
Side break though!
That's exactly what Cub's be looking for.
But there is still map to go. There is still map. 6,000 points of difference, now 7,000. But Dragon has lots of room to climb back. And I think once they cross over that 400 combo cap, that lead will definitely start to settle. And even start to shrink over too. As here we go into the final quarter of the map. It just, Cub needs to be ahead in accuracy and cannot afford any misses at all. Heading into the final section of the map. Here we go. And as Dragon crosses,
Dragon has recovered so well, ready to take that lead back if Cub does make any mistakes.
I mean, there is still these awkward flams and trills, but it just comes down.
Oh!
What is that? Is that enough? It looks to be enough. It looks to be enough. If Dragon doesn't find anything at this last section of the map, and it looks like it's not gonna happen, and Dragon is gonna take the lead. Oh my goodness!
God! That final miss from Dragon could have swung it back over in favor of Cub. That was so close.
Oh my god. That we're seeing a trend of maps, or the final map being so damn close. That was by 557 points. And Dragon is pulling up the upset and the clean sweep as well. And they have punched their ticket into the losers finals.
Very, very strong showing, guaranteeing that top 6, kind of at least where their seeding is, so very, very good from them. And unfortunately, that does mean saying goodbye to Cub, otherwise known as Silicosis 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are knocked out of this tournament. They put up one hell of an effort throughout this tournament, but all good things must come to an end. And speaking of that, we have one final match to go, and it is going to be another pretty close match. It's going to be Nathaniel, also known as Eliminate, versus Basil in about 2 hours from now at 20 UTC. So we are going to take a little break, and then we will be back at 20 UTC for that match. So do some stretches, go for a walk, take a drink of water, do whatever you need. We will be back in about 2 hours from now. Teezel, do you have anything else to say before we end off the stream?
Just that this match, once again, is really important, determining who will also be top 3 and be facing Mini Egg next weekend in the winners finals. So once again, really important one. Has so much potential to be really close. So come back for it at 20 UTC.
Yeah, and we will see you all later. Goodbye.
And did the opposite, just being young and stupid. Oh, I haven't been all that you could have hoped for, but if you'd held on a little longer, you'd have had more reasons to be proud. Oh, so many questions, but I'm talking to myself. I know that you can't hear